command line. So now I have that up, so we can start up here. First thing I'm always looking at when we start games is team compositions. Are you familiar with the three basic team comps in the game?
Um, I could be, but I'm not sure if I am. So there's dive,
Yep,
there's Ryan Zarya, and there's
yep, that would be referred to as brawl.
double shield. Yeah,
Yep,
I think.
and then double shield would be referred to as spam. So every single comp that has been in the game so far has been a variety of or has been some version of one of those three. And then if you're not really following along any of those lines and it's just kind of somewhere in between, that's a hybrid comp. Um, so when we're playing with these comps and against these comps, we're always going to change up how we're playing because uh, the enemies and our teammates are always going to change different things that we're working with. Um, so real quick, I guess I'm gonna send you a picture real quick that you can take a look at. So
Yeah.
this one, unfortunately, I keep forgetting to find the other one that I have, but this is just a rough sketch that you can look at. I do have a more polished version of this, but I just can't find it currently. But
Hmm.
there you go. Actually, wait, maybe does this person have it? No, okay, they don't have it. So I just sent that to you over Discord,
Yeah.
and that is
So
yeah. So dive essentially dive's a little bit complicated, so we're not gonna stay on them too long. But dive is gonna play far and then dive in close. They're gonna play slow at the start of the fight and then fast once they start getting ultimates. Brawl and spam are where it gets super easy to know how they play. A brawl plays fast and close to the enemy team, okay, and a spam plays far away and slow from the enemy team, right? And then any hybrid or split comp is going to play kind of everyone's going to do their own thing. That's kind of your ranked deathmatch style compositions where you're just really you're like hog ball. It's not really anything in particular. You're looking for picks. You're looking to get that type of thing. But this is really helpful because if we know that we're on a spam and the enemy team's on a brawl, we win by staying away from them and taking the fight slow. Whereas if it's the opposite way, they win if they are getting in on top of us fast.
okay. So like, how do we differentiate when our team is running spam or
Mhm. So
brawl?
spam is going to be all of the long range characters. So Orisa Sigma, can be snipers, can be hit scan, any like so Hanzo, any long range or and then the supports would be something like BAP, Zen, Mercy. With a brawl, that's going to be your close range characters. So that's going to be Reinhardt Zarya, Reaper, Mei, Moira, Ana, Lucio. All characters that want
Break.
to yeah, break. Yep. All the ones that want to get right up in your face. So if we take a look at our team comp real quick, um, we look like we're running a little bit of everything. I'd probably say we're mostly on a like kind of a hybrid or a spam here, right? So Zarya is a brawl character, Hog is a spam character, Kreese is a spam character, Mercy is a spam character, Moira is a brawl character, Genji's an everything character. Um,
Okay.
Yep. So we're running. I'd probably say most thing. The biggest thing here is just like kind of a hybrid comp. So when I'm looking at our comp, I'm seeing okay. Uh, we have a Mercy and we have a Zarya. So I'm thinking okay, I can combo with Grab. I can ask Mercy for damage boost when I go for Blade, and I can ask Zarya for Bubble when I go for Blade. And that way I have an easier way to to go with Blade. On the enemy team,
And
they look like they have mainly like kind of a dive here, right? They have Far dive, Mercy's dive, Monkey's dive, Lucio's dive, and then Zarya can assist with a dive with a bubble. And then they have a little bit of a spam. Their dive slash spam, right? Because Far doubles as spam. Ashe is a spam character. Mercy doubles as spam. Um,
mm,
yep,
and then so it's like somewhere between dive and spam
yep.
where
Yeah, they're somewhere between dive and spam.
okay.
Round one. Capture the objective.
Also, I sometimes feel like my sense for Genji might be a bit too low.
Mm.
So I play on 400 DPI into 6.5.
That is decently low, yeah. a lot of the time on Genji is a character that you can have a little bit higher of a sensitivity on, and that's even lower than um pretty much the average. I probably say my sensitivity is pretty average when it comes to like hit scan characters and whatnot. I have an 800 DPI and a 4.5 sensitivity, which from what I know from looking at like Overwatch League statistics and stuff like that for sensitivities is pretty average for a low sensitivity, and yours is I think almost twice as low as that.
Yes,
Um,
it is.
so yeah, you might benefit from raising that, but it's also going to depend. Do you have a large mouse pad or a smaller mouse pad?
I have like the entire table as my mouse
Yeah,
pad.
well then you definitely. So I would assume right now you're wrist aiming. Oh no, not wrist
Uh,
aiming. Sorry, that's my bad. I didn't mean to. That is the exact opposite. You're arm aiming because you're slow sensitivity, right?
I think I'm kind of wrist aiming, arm aiming a bit, like more wrist and arm usually. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, arm aiming is always gonna have some aspect of wrist aiming in it. Arm aiming just means that you use your arm more often than a wrist aimer would, essentially.
Yeah, then I would use my arm a lot more, yeah.
Yeah, wrist aimers only exclusively use the wrist. Um, so yeah, I would probably recommend turning that up a little bit higher so you can get around.
Yeah, I was expecting a Rhine there, so five. So right now I'm just poking. I'm
Mhm.
thinking that I should go around the right side to the Mega and
Yeah.
get
So
some
right there, we just know that they have a lot of uh, damage they can get.
non-deflectables.
Yeah, non-deflectables. They have the monkey who can get through us. Sorry, who can get through us. And then Ash and Pharah have spam or have splash damage, right? Dynamite and just regular shots that can get through us. So standing in front of our team and deflecting is probably not going to be a great idea up against that comp, right? So our
Mhm.
playstyle always changes against comp. That might be good against a brawler or spam comp, but definitely it's not going to do very much against that composition, right? So probably not going to be the play when we go through here. Yes, we might want to when we first come up here. The biggest thing I probably say is get out. Don't try to get stuffed in this doorway. Let's see what happens here. We come out. So we kind of chill here. We see their monkey, and we hesitate for the movement, and then they end up diving us and stuffing us in here. Once we're stuck in here as a team, then we probably might want to consider rotating main or something like that. Because this is kind of benefiting them because they can kind of stuff us in here. Far can spam in here. Everyone can just spam in here, and um, then we're not going to really get any space, no value. So probably be best if we, as a team, or even just ourselves, yeah, went right side rather than trying to get out through this way. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do get a pick there, so that maybe opens it up slightly. You just gotta not really walk in front of our team. Here's the big thing.
Yeah, I should have been a bit more patient actually. Like
Yep.
wait for my tank's cooldowns to come up, then we should have pushed that. Over here we finally pushed through. We start moving to point, and I get rolled there.
When Far's right in our face, we can go for the deflect, right? Because when she's right here, deflect's gonna have a wide enough radius to where it's probably gonna pick it up even if it's going right to our side or something like that. And looks like we maybe do get directed anyways. No, that I can't tell if that's a
Yeah.
direct, but probably just go for the deflect, right? When she's an inch from us. Second thing is she also is pretty low, and we don't go for the dash, right? Whenever we see something that we get is like below half, we right click dash it, and that way we're finishing it off. So mix it up. We can also something else that we can add in here is just to mix it up and to confuse the far. We just dash through her, and then when we dash through somebody, that means that now they have no clue where we're at, right? So it can make it so that it's a lot harder for her to shoot at us, even if we're not finishing her off with a dash.
Okay, so like I should engage with right click dash, and so
Yep.
that the
You
R.
a lot of times you can, yeah. It depends.
Okay.
Also, is because this is a you can't necessarily do that if they're all grouped up as 6 people, but we can do that since this is a one-on-one duel. That us dashing through can mix it up so that she no longer knows where we're at. Um, the other thing is we just want to use our abilities, right? Us not using our abilities here is what gets us killed.
Yeah. True. So I switched to Tracer here because I feel like I'm not getting much value out of Genji because, again, not a lot of deflectables and a lot of stuff that just burns right through my abilities, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah. I mean, in hindsight, it really wasn't the smart choice because Ash can one tap me. Plus, she's got Mercy damage boost, and Winston has the Tesla cannon, so that would force my blinks. Yeah. So
Yeah, so up against that, something yeah, we have a McCree, so Ash might be okay. What would you say your hero pool is if you're looking are you looking for me to maybe give you a character that might be a little bit better against that?
yeah, like usually I tend to play McCree a lot. Like
Hmm.
I hit diamond with McCree. But apart from McCree, I'm not very good at a lot of other heroes.
Uh-huh.
So
So
I think it might also
McCree and Genji.
McCree and Genji. Yeah, I want to pick up Tracer, but I feel like my sense is too low, so I'll probably figure
Yeah.
that out sometime later.
All right. Well, yeah, I think then in this case, if you don't play other characters, don't force yourself to play other characters. We because like we talked about, there's play styles that work around a bad matchup. Like don't walk into people, use your abilities, right? So both of those deaths could have been prevented had we just played slightly different.
Yeah. Initiating the Zarya bubble. That wasn't gonna help anyone but the Zarya. And now we're just getting held off. And the Ash here just one taps me.
Mm, yeah, make sure we're um when we're going in against people, we're trying to do that when we have abilities, right? We're kind of giving ourselves no time to get our abilities back. So here we're out and then we immediately blink in without cooldowns, right? Now have no blinks, we have no recall. So on Tracer we need to really worry about our resource management so that we're waiting an extra second to go in and after we get our blinks back and our recall back. Um we don't want to engage when we don't have those abilities because then that means that we don't have any way to dodge her and that just makes it easy for her to get us. Right, so
Yeah.
big thing on Tracer is just ability management. Make sure you're playing a little bit passive until you get those abilities back.
Okay. So over here, I know that I can take the duel against Winston because my gun basically shreds him at this point. Yeah, so I chase that kill down.
Very nice, good melee usage, good kills.
Just like old
Yeah, just make sure that you're at the very beginning of the fight. Just make sure you're staying outside of his Tesla range, right? Because you have a longer distance than him, so just try to stay outside of his distance.
Mm.
But good decisions there. Here, what are you gonna look to do with Pulse?
So right now, I'm looking to like either pick off the Ash or the Mercy.
Okay,
Because the Ash is the biggest threat to me because like she can one tap me, or the Mercy because she's their main line of sustain because they have a Lucio.
unfortunately, wrong answer, right? So I'm not saying that to be rude or anything here, but if we
Yeah,
press tab and we see we have a Zarya graph, that means that now our number one thought is okay, we should probably combo with graph, right? Because that is probably going to secure us more kills and be a lot easier to land than if we try to pulse on our own.
yeah, but I was thinking because they had Lucio beat, so that
Oh
would
yeah.
give
If they
me.
if they have Lucio beat, then we can try to kill him to start off. We can wait until like and see if grab it gets them. Yeah, if we know that they have beat to counter it, then we don't necessarily want to just throw it in without thinking into the grab. So in the situation, I would maybe be thinking about grab and watch to see if beat gets used early. We can try to force beat out by killing Lucio, or like focusing him. Um, yeah, are the big things you're watching out for here. So other than that, you said Mercy and Ash.
Yeah,
Yep. Other thing to watch out for is just making sure that personal bubble gets used up.
yeah. This pulse bomb is a fucking joke. God. Over
Okay.
here, I just int in the backline because I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just quick reset that.
All right. So what happens if we land this pulse right here? What's gonna happen if we land this on Ash?
So nothing. I recall back. She dies. Mercy comes back, reses her, but the Roadhog's there. So he'll protect against the McCree flash. Yeah, basically nothing actually.
Yeah, so the fact that they have a res means that we're probably not going to get much done with our pulse. Now, let's say we wait until the fight has progressed. So the big problem here is that we're engaging with this pulse before any of our team is able to take the fight, right? So we're unsynced with our team. We're going in and trying to land the pulse when nobody can follow up. So tanks can't follow up. McCree's only now just getting here. So only half our team is able to follow up, which means that it's less likely that, or it's really likely the Mercy's going to be able to get away with the res, because we're not syncing it with the team. So look to go in when your team's going in, not without your team.
True.
Okay. Again, look at our kind of ability usage here. We're poking in and out, but we're out of abilities. Recalls on 8 seconds. No blinks. Use your recall as an aggression leader. We can go get more aggressive when we have recall available, and we have to play less aggressive when we don't have it available. But especially when we have no blinks, we can't do this where we're going back in instantly. Because now look at where we're at. No blinks, no recall, no nothing. And then now Hog kind of has it easy on us to just mow us down. Now Hog misses the shots, but we're still out of abilities, and then we don't get nothing done. So wait for your abilities to come back before we're re-engaging. Don't go in without your abilities. All we have to do to wait is just, chill here for an extra 2 seconds, and then we can come back in.
So I have to be a bit more patient with my gameplay, like be a bit more careful of what I engage and what I don't engage.
Yep. Yeah. We really gotta pay attention to when our team is doing stuff.
Yeah, so over here I shouldn't have taken that. And the hog gets me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when we're in their spawn, we gotta be careful of the respawns. So pay attention. If we kill somebody, pay attention to kill feed. Pay attention to tab. And make sure you're not running into people in their spawn. Right. This is an awareness thing.
Yeah, should have gone for the mega instead.
Yep. So I think mechanics are fine. We're hitting a lot of shots. I'd probably say the biggest things so far I'm noticing is awareness and kind of game sense and kind of making decisions based off of the information that we're taking in. We're not taking in information based off of the compositions. We're not taking information in off of when should we start fights, and then that's resulting in us not really doing well.
So we're playing to independent of our team.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, this was.
So
Oh god, I'm cringing so hard now.
let's so we are coming up on. Yeah, okay, so never mind. We're red side. I forgot that or no, are we red? No, we're blue. So
We're blue.
they're 10 seconds away from capping.
Tapping,
So
yeah.
in this situation, the big thing is you just want to give that 10 seconds to try to regroup. But who do you think is going to try to touch point here? Like who can touch point?
I'm the only one who can.
Right? So we should be trying to put ourselves in a position to touch point rather than trying to go to pulse, and then maybe we can try to pull somebody who comes to point. But we run straight through main instead of maybe trying to take top left, and then that just means that we can't really get much done.
Yeah, but like, how would we get there? How would we get to like top left?
Oh,
Because
where did we come back from? Did we come back from spawn here? Yeah, we came back from
yeah.
spawn. So you walk
Oh
up top
yeah.
left, right?
I didn't think that I would have to make the touch there. Yeah. So I should have anticipated that earlier on.
Yep. So pay attention to we got to pay attention to how much time's left on the time bank, and then also look around us and see where's our team at, right? Because if our team, is dying, then we might, as the fastest mobility character, be the ones who have to touch.
I think the reason why I'm frontlining so much is because I just switch from playing tank,
Yep.
so that might be it. Because on tank you can get away with like 80 HP down or something, but
Yep.
with Tracer you're just one shot at that point.
Hmm.
Yeah, do get the touch. Don't know I get stuck with something.
All right. So awareness. So awareness. How to improve our awareness comes down to making sure that we're not tunnel visioning on things that we're doing. So when the first thing we're doing when the round unlocks is we take a look at our team comp, then we take a look at the enemy team comp once we see them. That gives us a bunch of information right there on how we should be playing differently. If they're on snipers, we make sure we're behind cover. If they're on flankers, we watch for the flankers. If they're on dive, we make sure we're aware of the dive. Right, we're always going to be playing differently up against these different comps, and with our teammates, we can combo with different abilities, with different ults, depending on what teammates are running. So we first off we pay attention to that. Second off, once we actually get in game here, we want to
Ready
make
for
sure that we
battle.
are paying attention to our peripheral vision, not just our crosshair. We're not always staring at a crosshair. We look at health. We look at abilities. Big one being abilities. We watch kill feed on the top right. We watch how much time's left in the time bank. How much like what's on our ult charge, and then all these things add up to us actually having more information. And when we have more information, we can make better decisions. Okay.
Mm,
Two more things
yeah,
when it comes to awareness, right? Making sure we're looking around us. We don't always just kind of look straight forwards and always walk in one direction. We want to make sure that we're checking to our right, to our left, looking behind us. Where's our team at? Where's the enemy team at? And then on top of that, make sure we're also using audio, right?
yeah. I think my awareness is a bit lower than usual because the way I'm used to playing the game, because in plat it's just I see something in front of me, I need to kill it, right? But I'm
Yep.
not really thinking of my team working with me to win the objective. I'm just like I'm playing it like a Call
So
of Duty game,
yeah,
kind of,
like
with abilities.
you're playing it like it's deathmatch. You're playing it for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then that means that we're playing it against maybe other people who don't see it the same way, and then now you're going in 1v6, right? So because we're not thinking about that clearly, it's just gonna mean that we're gonna have a hard time when teams are actually being coordinated and we're not being coordinated.
You should be at peak performance level.
True.
Because even if we're not talking with our team, there's still ways to
5,
coordinate with our team.
4,
Okay, so looking at our team comp, I am thinking in my head, okay, we have Mercy for damage boost for when we go for Blade, and I would probably be looking to combo our ultimate with Sigma. So Sigma fluxes them up in the air, we wait until they slam into the ground, they're all half HP, and then we go in with Blade.
3,
Okay, so
1.
this is a spam type of comp, yeah?
Yes, our comp is spam, like almost completely spam. Sigma
Yeah.
spam, Ashe spam, Mercy spam, Zen spam, Hog spam. Spam is probably Genji's worst comp to play with, but it's also all right for him. He does okay. Um, especially like if you're the main thing you're looking to do when you're playing spam with Genji is you're looking to play for blades. Because you can't really get it super aggressively if your team's not playing aggressive.
Mm.
Right,
Yeah, over here we barely even touch point at all actually. Yeah. So they have somewhat of a brawl spam kind of thing.
yep. Ashe spam, Mercy spam, Hog spam. Um, and
May
then yeah, Mei, Diva, and Lucio can be brawl. Yeah, so brawly spammy. So
yeah.
our team should do better if we play slow and far. And
Yeah.
we should be looking to attempt to go on Genji. Kind of your playstyle. A lot of the time, it's going to be you're looking to play for Blade, and if you see opportunities such as somebody who's low, somebody's out of position, or somebody's easily can just jump on, then we go in for aggressively with a dash, or we get in on top of them.
Okay.
The objective
This is not your time.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
I'm taking care of you.
So at this point, our Zen makes a call out that his main spawn, but I can't find the Mei, and I spend way too much time looking for the Mei. So yeah,
Yep.
we lose point presence, and our Sigma is just 1v3ing at that point.
Yeah, if you can't find May, then what essentially is happening is that means that you're taking two people out of the fight, right? By you going back. So and honestly, in that situation, you have to just focus on point. You can't go back if the fight's in the middle of happening. If the fight's not in the middle of happening, then it's fine if we go back. But in that situation where we have to gauge how close is the fight, like where's the enemy team at, right? Because we don't pay attention to where the enemy team's at, we back off when they're all pushing in, which isn't going to be good for us.
Mm. So, what would you say would be the ideal position for me here? Like,
Um, Probably gonna either look to do one of two things. Either we look to just spam behind our tanks, or we look to flank and try to get. Oh, we're on. They swapped off the Ash now. Okay, so now that they swapped off the Ash, we probably are gonna just look for the to play with our tanks. I maybe be somewhere like up here. And we're mainly just looking for like poke until we see an opportunity. They don't have really much that we can dive besides like Mercy or Lucio. So we're the main thing is we probably don't want to just sit on point here. I guess we can try to contest this. We have our deflect available if we need it, so that is a way that we can just get out.
yeah. And then I feel like overcommit at this point.
Okay, here where we should be attempting to look for Blade, call out a Mercy, damage boost me, and then go for Blade. The longer we hold on to this, the less value we're gonna get out of it.
Yeah. So I think I do go for Blade here.
Okay, so what would you say is the issue immediately while going for that Blade?
I have 0 HP. My team can follow up on it, and I'm 1v3ing at this
Yep.
point.
1v3 is fine as long as we have the Mercy, because then it's a 2v3, right? We get them.
Yeah.
What is the advantage of having a Mercy pocket you and your Blade?
You stay alive a bit more longer, and you get the damage boost.
What does the damage boost do?
Uh, I think it's a 25% increase in damage. 35, 25. So
So
it allows me to one shot with the slash and dash combo.
yep, exactly right. That's the big thing. The faster you can get away with Blade, or essentially the faster you can kill anything, that means that they have less time to heal, they have less time to get away, they have less time to use tanking. So that means that killing things faster is always going to be better for you. Now, if we don't have that damage boost, that means that we have to slash slash instead of slash dash, which means that we're going to be a lot less efficient with our Blade. And at the same time, we're also not getting healing. So we come in here without getting healing. So this is where we should be spamming. I need healing. I need healing. I need healing. Or you can also spam. Probably the biggest one you can do is just spam. I have my ultimate. Or you could also, if you communicate in chat typically.
Yeah, I mean, I try to, but usually most of the time not.
Yeah, well, you can just say in team chat, you can say, hey, this fight, Mercy, I almost have Blade. I'm like, whenever you're like 80% of your Blade, you say, Mercy, I almost have Blade, get ready to pocket me, right? And then when you're like 95, or when you have your ultimate, you're going, Mercy, I have Blade, damage, 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 right? You just like, pretty much just make sure that she's aware, right? And then wait for her to go on you, and then go for it, right? And then that way we're going in when we're not 1 HP. We
Yeah,
also kind of ignore the baby diva here.
yeah, that should have been a priority because get rid of a tank and you lose major point presence. Yeah, and we basically just waste our blade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
there
one.
there we go in. Make sure you're scouting and you're paying attention to where everyone is right before we're going for Blade, so we can pick people off. We saw the baby, but we just ended up not getting the kill. Remember, you get kill sounds when you kill somebody. You see it on the kill feed. You see it underneath. You see a skull underneath your crosshair. So we have indications for when we get that kill. So pay attention to it.
At this point, I really shouldn't be doing this, right? Because Genji does not have like the straight up upfront tanking damage. He's more of a
Yeah, at that point we just wanted to die. Charging our blade up's fine. We just want to let them kill us as fast as possible. So deflecting maybe not the best idea. Or at least we can try to we can try to get the baby mech out. That's good, a good idea. But the reason why we die there is because otherwise we already lost the fight. Us trying to stay in there is staggering. So it's we're gonna be best if we just died as fast as possible in that situation.
Yeah.
We must focus our attack upon the objective. I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Get in there, Bob.
Make sure that we're getting used to dashing at low HP targets, so really pay attention to health bars. If we see here that we get Lucio to pretty much 1 HP here, we need to follow that up with a dash immediately, but we delay on the dash until he gets it up here, and then that means that we don't do as much damage, right? And he can escape with 1 HP. Because he had time to heal himself up, because I think he might have even amped there. And then on top of that, we also don't go for the right-click dash, right? Right-click dash is just going to do more damage, especially at a closer range.
Yeah, I also could have gone for like the dash melee if I
Yep.
knew I was gonna.
Exactly, right. So it's delayed. We're not really looking at him there when we're going for it.
Over here, I'm trying to kill this diva. This is just mechanical.
Request healing. Look for blade. This is where, yep. Make Lucio your first target. So that you can make, especially since have we seen a beat yet so far this game?
No, yeah.
No.
Didn't
So it's
think of that.
Yep, so it's been all game so far. We haven't seen a beat. That means he has beat, so we need to make sure that we're focusing him. So when they have defensive ultimates, we need to make sure that the number one thing we're watching out for is those, right? We're paying attention to that. So that comes with looking at their team comp at the start of the round, right? Is going, what defensive ults do they have? Do they have a lamp? Do they have a beat? Do they have a trance? Maybe Zarya's going to try to grab me. Maybe Sig's going to try to flux me, right? They have a lot of different things that we have to watch out for. So beat is one of them, so we focus the Lucio first with our blade, and that way he can't get the beat off.
Yeah. This one I just wanted to kill the Lucio, and somehow we still don't manage to cap this because their tanks are just very mobile, I guess. And we never actually get the cap, and then
Try to focus point if you can. Okay, the reason why you'd focus point instead of running off, the reason why you'd focus point instead of running off there would be to get the team focus fire going, right?
yeah. So kill the ball first because the divas.
Right, because you
Major.
yeah, because you have one, two, three, four people here, right? They're all looking at ball. If we're on Diva alone, we're not gonna be able to kill Diva. But if we're all looking at ball, we might be able to kill them a lot faster. So that's why you focusing something as a team is gonna be a lot better. So kill what comes to point. Don't chase things off of point.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, that was just.
Yep, awareness. Pay attention to where we are.
Yeah. At this point, I just come back for the touch.
Alright, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna go close my door.
Alright.
Alright, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah. So, at this point, just looking for the touch, but
Alright, so
good Whitefield.
biggest points, I think I think that I wouldn't say that you really have a main particular area that you're struggling with. I think that there are pretty much every single area there's something. There's something in I'd probably say positioning is maybe one that we do okay in. We do stay next to cover a lot of the time. But I'd probably say we struggle in awareness, we struggle in decision making. We struggle, cooldown management. We struggle slightly in mechanics. So I think there's just a lot of different areas that need improvement. So I guess real quick, we'll go over a bunch of different things here. When it comes to Genji and Tracer, right? So first off, when it comes to Genji, make sure we're going for like right-click dashes rather than just going for a normal dash, which just that much damage, right? When we right click dash, we add in the damage of the right click on top of it, and it kind of animation cancels into it, right? So if we're doing it, even if we're doing it from back there, you see that immediately that's just more damage than that one, right? We're almost getting twice the amount of damage in. So when we're going for kills and we dash in whenever we see something that's low, we're gonna right click dash melee
Double
in.
kill.
So we go right click dash, oh, melee when we're on top of them, and then we follow up with another right click. We can, if we're super far away, instead of right clicking, we might want to left click dash, right, and melee.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're going to want to do this when something's low HP. A lot of time we're slightly delayed. Like, for example, just instead of waiting until after they take the damage, predict it based off of like your shurikens, right? If we see our shurikens are about to hit here, right, we can follow that up with the dash because we see that we hit those shurikens, right? We don't have to wait until the damage comes in. We can follow it up pretty much immediately. So if we land this right click, we can follow that up immediately instead of waiting to watch their health bar.
Double
Okay.
kill.
Um, now
So
I
like
good.
I have to basically manage cooldowns better, but I have to increase the pace, like make faster decisions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now when it comes to crosshair placement, so crosshair placement is gonna help you with your mechanics slightly. Make sure that with projectiles we're aiming ahead of people, so when someone's moving, we're going slightly ahead of them. So the farther away they get, the further ahead we're going to have to aim. If someone's right next to us, we might just aim pretty much straight at their head here, but then we might start having to go a little bit further ahead, further away they get from us, right? So to where when we're aiming over there, if we're aiming at his head while he's moving, we're missing all these shots. Okay, so we have to
Yeah.
aim ahead of their head, so in front of people in the direction that they're moving. Okay, you move backwards, thanks. Okay, so ahead of people in the direction that they're moving, rather than behind them.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you say Trace's hit scan or projectile
Hit scan.
hit scan?
Yep.
Okay.
Projectiles is anytime a bullet has travel speed. Tracer does not have travel speed. Every shot will hit instantly.
Okay.
Yep. That's how you define a hit scan character. Now crosshair placement is essentially using your brain to help your aim. You're placing your crosshair in the best place possible so you can hit the most shots. The first big, humongous step to this is making sure we're aiming head level. Okay, if we're aiming bodies, this obviously does a lot less than hitting headshots. So we want to be hitting headshots more often. So when we're aiming, we want to make sure that we're aiming headshots. So when we're just spamming down, if we're spamming from super far away, we might want to consider not jumping, especially if we're like have shields with us, right? Because that way we don't have to adjust downwards when we're hitting shots. We might want to just like kind of stay here and spam like this, right? Because then we can just keep our crosshair on head level rather than having to adjust
Yeah.
down whenever we're jumping, which just makes it a little bit harder to make sure every shot is hitting the head, right? But when we also when we are jumping around people, right, we want to make sure that we're trying to stay on their head by adjusting downwards so that we're always aiming at people no matter where we are, right? And then what this does for us essentially by aiming at head level means that there's less adjustment, right? If we're aiming here, we try to hit headshots, we have to go up and to the left or up and to the right, which makes the shot harder because we have to adjust further. This is gonna be a big thing when you're on Tracer as well. Now, the other second thing this does, right, is all spam shots that we do, every single spam shot is just gonna be headshots. So if we're just spamming down a corridor and we're doing that, we're just doing a lot more damage if we're just aiming up here, because now all these shots are now hitting headshots, right? Because we're just already aiming there. Okay.
Okay, so I think I'll have to spend some time learning the head hitboxes for a bunch of characters then.
Yeah.
Because for Anna, like it's since she's always hunched over, like for this bot, the head hitbox is pretty big, right? So Anna would be somewhere at the body level for this bot.
So yeah, sometimes it's head levels. So you always have to adjust head level to different characters. Anna's gonna be slightly lower, to where your head aiming maybe there, and then tanks are gonna be slightly higher to where you might be aiming here. But it's not very much. You just have to make sure that you're taking in different characters into account. And then keep in mind as well, we're taking like different heights into account, right? So we're aiming head level at this doorway, right? This doorway, this corner. When we know that somebody's over here, we can aim head level a little bit away from the doorway, wait for them to walk out, and then just you see my crosshair is pretty much already on top of him. It's very little adjustment because we're already aiming there, and then we can follow that up with a dash in, right?
Yeah.
We know that they're on our left, so we're pre-aiming head level left side, so that when we turn this corner, we're already aiming at their head, pretty much. Okay. We know that they're slightly downward, so we're aiming down a little bit. Okay. And we're turning this corner, pretty much already aiming at their head, right? And then that way, all these shots that we're just spamming in are head level shots.
Yeah.
More dashing through people. Keep in mind that if we're trying to not dash too far past them, what we're going to do is we're going to dash at their feet. So instead of, and this helps if you jump as well, so we can dash downwards. So if we just dash through this person, then it becomes difficult to follow up because we're so far away from them now. Okay, but if we instead we dash into their feet, then that becomes a little bit easier to follow up because then we're just right behind them rather than a mile behind them.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, that should be it with Genji for now. I think your deflect usage is pretty good. Tracer, I think the big thing you struggle with on Tracer besides our ability usage was our pulse bomb usage.
Yeah.
Because we didn't mess up a lot of those. With your pulse bomb, I think you have the right kind of idea. Make sure you're looking to get right up next to people though. So the big thing with that is, you get the tech behind it is that you're supposed to be going for blink pulse bombs. So you just want to learn the range of your blink. So with your blink here, you have a 10-meter range. So if we blink, or I think it's like 8 meters technically. But if
Yeah.
we blink from 10 meters away here, we can pretty much melee them, and we can practice this to try to find the distance. So we can blink in and pulse bomb, and then recall or blink out, right? So
Yeah.
you want to find that distance so that we can, like on these guys, so that we can follow up kills with like, let's say we run out of ammo, right, and they're 1 HP, we can blink in a melee.
Speed kills.
This will help us find the distance for our pulse bomb melee, right? I haven't played yet, and then so it's a little bit rusty, but you can start to get used to it where you can maybe start off slow, just get them down a little bit, and then follow it up. Sometimes you might have to do it 360, and then this will help you follow up with your, or practice your meleeing, right?
Down for the count.
And then now we kind of know that distance a lot better. We can kind of blink in and pulse,
Time out. Just in time.
but because we know the blink distance. So if I know I'm going past them, I'm turning around. Same thing on Genji, right?
So yeah, so I have to just learn my abilities really well if I'm gonna
Yep.
main these characters.
Yeah, learning your abilities is how you're gonna be able to land them a lot more efficiently. Now on Genji, I'd like to see you get more kind of you have kind of a medium aggression during the whole entire fight, where you're always just you're going around here doing like kind of this medium range poking the entire time. But I'd like to see you be kind of more of a passive and then aggressive when things are low, right? Where you're going in aggressive when you have picks, when your team has a kills, when someone's low HP, because you can just dash in and then get the dash reset when you kill them. Because a lot of times when things get low, we don't really get too aggressive on them. And then when we don't have those abilities, or we don't have that advantage, we kind of play at a medium aggression, where I like to see us playing a little bit more passive and just spamming for our ult. Right. The same thing with Tracer is Tracer and Genji. You're looking for opportunities. You're poking. You're distracting. You're looking for ults. We're on the sidelines here. We're just going in and out until we see something that's low, and then we can get super aggressive in on top of it, right? Or when we get our ultimate, we can get super aggressive in and on top of them. But until then, we're
Down for the
not really. We're just gonna stay poking and waiting for an opportunity. Right. So
Okay.
we still have 24 minutes, I believe, here. Right. So do you?
Yeah.
Or even longer, because we started. Oh, actually, wait. No, wait. Oh, never mind. We actually did burn through our time. Wow, time flew by really fast. Let's see. When did we actually start here? Because we did start late.
We started at like
14. Okay.
9:14. Yeah.
So we have another what It's 8
8
minutes.
minutes, yeah.
So do you
Um,
have another replay you'd maybe like to go over?
yeah, I do. Let me just get it.
Now,
I'm not sure if this was Genji though.
Double
Hmm.
This was a tie. I think this was McCree. Let me just send it. So, you talked a bit earlier about playstyles and how there's three different types, right? So, just wanted to get the playstyle down for each hero. So, for Genji, when I'm playing dive, I want to focus on going in with my main tank. Yes?
Yes, when you're on dive, you're always playing for those
gathering to
opportunities. But on
Halloween.
dive,
Ready
because
for
your
battle.
team is actually going in with you, you're gonna play a lot more aggressively to where you're going in when your team's going in. When you're
So,
on, yep,
do I burn cooldowns at the same time as my team? Like, let's say
sl-
my what's
slightly delayed.
Attackers
You're going in pretty
incoming
much
in
right after
30
he goes in,
seconds.
right? So you let him go in, soak up all the damage, get them low, and then pretty much like 1 second afterwards, you're going in looking to. The thing is, because you don't want to go at the exact same time, because then you might
you might
not really be
end
on the
up
right
face
target.
tanking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna end up base taking, and then also you might not be on the right target, right? Unless you're calling out ahead of time. If you guys are calling out ahead of time, let's going on
5,
Mercy,
4,
then that's slightly different, and then you can go in at the same time. But otherwise, you want to look to go in
3,
right afterwards.
two,
Okay. And
1.
for
Attackers
Brawl,
incoming.
what am I
Defend
mainly
objective
looking
A.
for as a Genji? So do I still play a bit more passive, or
It
do I
depends
get
on
straight in their face?
what the enemy team comp is. If
Okay.
there were like another brawl or like a spam or something like that, we can look to get like deflects in front of our tanks, right, and get a lot of deflect damage. If the enemy team's on a big clumped up comp, we can look to be like into all of them and get all that big juicy 6-man
Okay.
dashes, and that gets us our ult charge fast, especially if we're looking to run into them as a team. Um, we really our playstyle is going to be kind of standard. I would get, or I guess that I probably say on Brawl we're kind of in between. We're aggressive, but we're aggressive in a kind of spammy way. Whereas in Dive we're full committing and we're going in there really fast. We're going to be a little bit spammy and we're not full committing in on top of them, but we're gonna be more aggressive than when we're on a spam. We're on a spam comp. We're going to be very passive unless we see a clear opportunity to go in.
Okay. So passive, we focus on building blade. Dive, we focus on following up on our tanks, and then in Brawl, we focus on helping the tanks win the front line, or um doing like a not so very flank heavy flank. I guess I don't know how do I say
Uh,
it.
Off angles would be.
Off ankles, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So right now we are running a brawl comp. Enemy team is running a brawl comp. Okay, both teams are on brawl. Honestly, I think this is
Yeah.
the most fun to play dive with or Genji with because it's you get punished the least. Right now we don't want to be so far back. We want to be pretty much up with our tanks. I'd probably say because we can deflect fire strikes back into them. We can spam down shields and just shoot at them. Now we want to get super aggressive because Reinhardt's so far in. He ought to pick. We are up 2 people, so we're just playing insanely aggressive currently. Yep. So exactly that. Oh,
Yeah, I don't chase that because I don't want to get a shot. But then he jumps over
so why wouldn't we chase it here?
because like he does a lot of damage. So I don't know. I didn't want to get like
Well,
hit that mechanical failure and then he
well, this
just killed
is
me.
essentially right here. This is a us not taking advantage of an advantage. Okay, so you take duels 100% when you have an advantage, and you don't take duels when you have a disadvantage. Here, our team got 2 picks. Right? How to know when you're winning or losing a team fight? We'll go over that real quick because this is super important stuff. When
Okay.
you are up 1 to 2 people, that means so you get 1 to 2 kills, which is what right now. That means that you have a advantage. You can play much more aggressive, but you might not have won the fight yet. 2 to 3 kills, that is where you've won the fight, right? This is gonna depend. Why 2 is the middleman is because sometimes if the other enemy team has too many, so like it depends on what team has more ult. It depends on which team has lower HP. It depends on how many ults are currently being used. Which team has better positioning. this fight has pretty much already been won. You guys are up 2 people. You guys have more health than they do on the enemy team, and they don't have any superior positioning or any ultimates to counter you guys. So we pretty much won this fight. So we want to be playing super aggressive, cleaning up these kills. You are full HP. Baptiste is 1 HP, so we play aggressive against that. If he uses Lamp here, then we can play a little bit more passive. We try to break
But he
Lamp.
already used lamp, yeah.
Yep. And even if he didn't use Lamp, we'd still stay in this fight. If we need to, all we have to do is just deflect and back up, right? If we start getting low, right? We back up and we have our team to help us. But here we just kind of back up for no reason. Now this also goes the opposite way. If we're down 1 to 2 people, then that means that we are losing the fight and we should play we should play more passive. If we are down 2 to 3 people, that's pretty much when we've lost the fight. We should be looking to, in that case, in both cases, whether or not you've won the fight or lost the fight, you no longer want to use your ultimate. If you've lost the fight, you want to look to get out, and if you can't get out, you want to die, right? That way you're not staggering yourself and you're coming back with your team.
Mhm.
In this
Okay.
situation, we don't want to back up. We want to play super aggro because we have a very clear advantage. He doesn't have abilities. He doesn't have health. We have health. We have abilities. We have our team with us.
Okay.
Make sure. Was this a right click dash? I don't.
My barrier can't take much more.
Okay, so we do right click. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure we're aiming head level though. Right, we're gonna do a lot more damage if we are aiming head level.
Yeah. And over here, I'm expecting him to instantly use the punch, so I aim a bit ahead.
Okay, so right now we're running a Ana, so we want to make sure we're looking for the Ana. I want to, since we're about to run out of time, I want to skip forward to when we're using Blade, so I can take a look at your Blade. I think we're pretty
Yeah.
slow on charging our Blade. We want to look to make sure we're poking as often as possible, make sure we're hitting headshots, try to get damage in. Doom Fist. Oh my goodness.
So, so at this point, right, I felt like our Ana was inting, because a lot of the times our Ana had the weirdest position. So over here, right, I'm thinking we get this Ryan, I go Blade, but I don't know how that even happens. Yeah, and our Ana just has like the weirdest positioning, and I think one more fight happens here. Like our entire team's top right, and then our Ana is just on the bottom left. Yeah. So
Well, let's see why this is. I think it maybe is because our team started off up top and then she just didn't pay attention to their team main. Honestly, I think this is fine for us in particular because what that means is we can go bottom with our Ana and dash up here, right? And now Ana's isolated us to where it's an easy nano, and we can dash at whoever we need to for the blade, right?
yeah.
So we probably want to be going main and looking for the blade here.
Yeah, we can force point here actually, so that would help our tanks a bit.
Oops, I didn't mean to get out of your point of view here. So where are you at? So we probably should have gone main and just looked for a blade from main. I don't know. Like if we're looking for nano blade, something to keep in mind with our ultimates is you want to use ultimates at the start of the fight, right? The longer we wait, the better their ult are going to be. So for example, let's say that they use shatter before we use blade. Okay, that means shatter, gets CC, that secures kills. Now we're down a person. Now because they have the man advantage, or even we're down 2 people, now because they have the man advantage, our blade will inherently do less because now they already have picks, right? So we have less follow-up with blade. So when we use ults first, they're always going to be better. We don't want to hold on to our ults. We don't want to wait on our ults. So look to be using our ult here pretty much to start off the fight, not super late till after like everyone's dead on our team.
And over here, I don't have cooldowns. The Doom just misses a bunch of abilities. I got the Ana here.
Yeah. Just playing a little too aggressive when we don't have HP. When you see that you're low like that and you don't have team follow-up, dash out, right? Keep in mind, you can always get out. You don't need to keep going in over and over and over again.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if we get to use our blade. Okay, still blade. Okay, use blade. Okay, so first big problem, use blades 5, I think it's the game starts like 40 seconds in. So we've used this 5 minutes and 20 seconds in the game. How many in 5 minutes and 20 seconds? If we use Blade first fight that we got it, how many blades do you think we could have gotten in that time?
I think 3,
Yep,
because it takes me 2 minutes to build a blade. So
probably like 2 or 3. Yep.
yeah,
Yep. So make sure we're using it much earlier, much faster, and then we have more opportunities to win off of that. Okay, we go in for the blade here. We use it after our Ana's dead, right? Again, we're using it super late here. Okay.
so this
Now,
was a bad play. Yeah.
now we're even here. Okay, the problem is that they have close spawns. So when even though we're even and we went 2-2, they're gonna get their players back much faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So they have 5 players, we have 3 players, right? So this is a lost fight. We shouldn't have looked for Blade because of the fact that even if it was 4-4, they still the advantage because they had the close spawn, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up the time that we have for this session. I'm gonna end the recording. Do you have any